Here's more wrestling news for November 30th, 2022. And we're starting off this afternoon with this week's Raw, which saw Montez Ford make his in-ring return after being out of action for some time. On the 3-hour show, he and Angelo Dawkins defeated the Alpha Academy in a highly impressive match, but this was also Dawkins' first match in quite some time. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer explained that WWE has been keeping Dawkins off TV as they didn't want to use him without Ford. This doesn't exactly bode well for Dawkins, as WWE couldn't find anything for the big man to do whilst his tag team partner was dealing with a calf injury. It wasn't too long ago that reports came out that Dawkins was seriously impressing people backstage, but that wasn't enough for him to get a singles run, even for just a couple of months. It's been speculated by fans for years that if the Street Profits split, it'll be Ford who gets the huge push thanks to his endless charisma, and things aren't looking too hot for Angelo Dawkins despite his return to the ring this week. Last week it was reported that WWE is planning a big event on January 18th, which is rumored to be taking place in the subcontinent of India. WWE has a massive fan base in India, so it only makes sense that a show takes place there, but plans for the event are far from confirmed. When Ringside News asked sources within WWE, they were told that nothing has been confirmed yet, with one anonymous name saying that it's possible the story is true, but it's not been discussed with the writing staff as of this time. The show is rumored to feature a mix of WWE talent and local Indian wrestlers and celebrities, and would come mere days before the country celebrates Indian Republic Day. It's still very possible that the event could happen, but it probably won't be as big as reports suggested, as WWE have big shows for both January and February of next year. Between the Royal Rumble and the WWE Elimination Chamber in Montreal, early 2023 will be an especially busy road to WrestleMania, and that may mean a much smaller India show than anticipated, if it happens at all. In July, a media alert sent by the Stillwater Police Department revealed that AJ Ferrari, a WWE NIL prospect, is the suspect in a case of sexual assault. The following month, a warrant for Ferrari's arrest was issued, and now the WWE prospect will face trial. As first reported by KOKH Fox 25, Payne County Judge Catherine E. Thomas found probable cause to believe that a crime was committed, and Ferrari will face trial on December 6th. Ferrari was dismissed from the Oklahoma State wrestling team the day of the media alert after winning the 197-pound national championship in 2021. As for WWE, they haven't publicly commented on the matter just yet, but are no doubt monitoring the situation with Ferrari very closely. After being arrested, Ferrari posted a $25,000 bail and has pled not guilty to the charges against him, and we'll keep following this case for further updates. For over 30 years, Chris Jericho has been a name in pro wrestling, having success in many big companies from around the world. The first ever WWE Undisputed Champion and AEW World Champion, wrestling is what Y2J does best, but it appears that this doesn't extend to his family. When Ash Irvine, Jericho's oldest son, spoke with Jim Varsalone, he was asked if he plans on joining the business, and while Ash has thought about it, he says he knows deep down it's not for him. Ash isn't planning on becoming a wrestler, but he also said he doesn't plan on being a hockey player like his grandfather, New York Rangers legend Ted Irvine, but instead, going to do my own thing. As fans of Talk is Jericho may know, Ash is quite the fisherman, being introduced on the show as Ash the Fishing Expert, so expect a 19-year-old to stay out of the ring and stay in his boat. In 2018, Glenn Jacobs, aka KANE, was elected mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, and while he was re-elected in 2022, the Big Red Machine has never been too far from controversy. Earlier this year, Jacobs argued that might makes right in response to Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine, and has now taken aim at those working in his own area. This week, Knox News revealed that a 134-page lawsuit was filed at Jacobs in Knox County by the county's former Parks and Recreation Director, Paul White, and no, we don't mean the Big Show. This Paul White alleged that Jacobs had threatened him, demanding he lie to investigators when asked about Jacobs' chief of staff, Brian Hare, illegally using a golf cart for personal use. One part of the scathing lawsuit dictates how the Big Red Machine wasn't exactly professional when he demanded White lie to state investigators. Mayor Jacobs became visibly angry and upset. His face turned bright red, and he violently smacked his desk with a closed fist as he cut White off, told White to and Mayor Jacobs further stated that he was not interested in the truth. The lawsuit also states that county workers who were supposed to be maintaining the parks around the area were instructed to do work on the homes of Hare, White, and Jacobs despite being on working time. Jacobs' wife Crystal even shared a photo showing county workers helped clear a snake from their home, but later deleted the incriminating evidence. This lawsuit has resulted in White being paid $150,000 for being threatened by Jacobs, though his office has said that his housework was done on the workers' lunch breaks and not when they should have been working for the county. Having people work on your home during their lunch break is hardly a better look for Jacobs, as Mayor KANE is proving to be as controversial as a politician as much as some of his WWE booking. Back in the ring, as this week's Raw saw the OC face off against the Judgment Day, and Mia Yim showed her strength, body-slamming Finn Balor and impressing fans. On Twitter, Yim reacted to her feat of strength, simply saying, "Hi Finn, I'm Mia." Since returning to WWE, Yim has been a tour de force with the OC and has allowed the group to combat the Rhea Ripley problem, but this week's Raw shows every member of the Judgment Day should watch their backs when Michin is around. In 2020, FTR made their way to AEW, and their no flips, just fists attitude has proven to be a hit with fans. Not only are the duo former AEW World Tag Team Champions, but they currently hold the Ring of Honor, IWGP, and AAA Tag Gold, but they may not be with AEW for much longer. While speaking to Fightful, Dax Harwood revealed that his and Cash Wheeler's contracts with AEW will expire in late April, and the two have been evaluating their options with other promotions. The two have even discussed taking a year off of wrestling for major companies, allowing them to work more indie shows and have some fun without the pressure of being on TV. FTR are popular in AEW, but Tony Khan's booking of them is often sporadic, and the team have become vocal about wanting to get featured more on Dynamite and Rampage. With FTR currently holding the Ring of Honor World Tag titles, the duo are still firmly with at least one of Khan's companies, but their time with TK could be ending in 5 months' time. In February, both Cody and Brandi Rhodes parted ways with AEW, but unlike her husband, Brandi hasn't returned to WWE. In fact, Brandi hasn't wrestled for any promotion at all since parting ways with the All Elite promotion, but has a very good reason for her extended absence. Speaking on a new podcast, Two Truths, One Lie, Rhodes spoke to WWE's Lacey Evans about being a mother to daughter Liberty and the unpredictable schedule being in the world of pro wrestling can bring. Most of the time I would leave at 6 a.m., get to AEW, and then legitimately, if I wasn't booked, get the latest flight that I could back. It was pretty terrible being away from her for just that period of time. If I text somebody and they didn't get back to me, my heart was stopping. It was just not for me, and I guess that's a lot of the reason why I haven't been back. Commending Evans for always having time for her family and WWE, the sassy Southern Belle admitted she gets a lot of help from her own mother, adding, "I've been blessed to where I don't have to leave them. WWE has been very good on that side. We were talking before about how it was kind of difficult at first in 2016 when I started with the company, but now they're very supportive when it comes to family and moms and the whole nine, so I've been very blessed." Perhaps Brandi Rhodes will join WWE like her husband one day, but she's in no rush to get back in the ring, and right now, her focus is on these important years in her young daughter's development. In 2010, Alex Riley made his in-ring WWE TV debut, but for much of his run in the company, he worked as a commentator for NXT. Riley's last match would come against Shinsuke Nakamura in 2016, but after 6 years out of the ring, A-Rai will soon be lacing up his boots again. For the Create a Pro Holiday Toy Drive show on December 8th, Riley will team up with NWA World Champion Tyrus to take on the team of VBU. Considering this is Alex Riley's first match in 6 years, it'll be interesting to see how he fares in the ring, and the former NXT protege of The Miz is looking to make his return a huge success. Last year, Stokely Hathaway left WWE after previously turning down an extension of his contract with NXT. Now Hathaway is with AEW, but the manager of the firm had a difficult time getting from point A to point B. On the sessions, the former Malcolm Bivens explained that he suffered a mental health crisis after leaving WWE, but felt that people didn't believe him because of his jokey personality on screen. Hathaway said he regrets leaning into the funny thing too much because he's actually very introverted, but he has a small group of friends he knows he can trust. Social media and constant discussion about him online hardly helped matters, but Hathaway came to the conclusion that it's just wrestling and not a live or die situation. Ultimately, Hathaway checked himself into a mental health facility, which provided some assistance with his issues, and he seems to be doing much better now. Leaving WWE and refusing their offer to stay was a big decision, one that clearly weighed heavily on Hathaway, but he's now in a much better place mentally, as well as being in AEW. In WWE, Carmella has called herself the most beautiful woman to ever step foot in the ring, and to her credit, there's many who feel this way. The former Smackdown Women's Champion is certainly attractive, but this week, Carmella made it clear that her beauty isn't artificial. When Carmella responded to a tweet highlighting a promo between herself and Nikki Bella 6 years ago, a fan chimed in saying that this segment was done pre-plastic surgery. In response, Carmella denied the idea of having any work done since then, saying that the reason for any change of appearance is simply aging. Carmella hasn't been seen on WWE TV in months, with her most recent televised match being back in July on Main Event, but just because she may look slightly different after returning, it isn't a sign of going under the knife. In September, Bobby Roode underwent surgery, which came after a lengthy absence from TV, and the glorious one hasn't been seen since. WWE have not referenced Roode on TV, but now it appears he's on his way back, at least if a recent WWE.com photo gallery is to be believed. In a gallery showing superstars wearing the kits for their national teams at the FIFA World Cup, Roode can be seen wearing the red jersey for his homeland of Canada. This may not seem like much, but it shows that Roode is healed up and was working with WWE in recent days, albeit for a photo shoot. There have been talks that Roode will be part of Smackdown when he returns, but no plans have been confirmed yet, but we can only hope that it won't be long before the blue brand is glorious yet again. Anytime Seth Rollins is on Raw, you can guarantee that the Architect is going to wear some surprising outfit, one that certainly makes him the center of attention. For the flashy Rollins character, being the focus is exactly what he wants, but a recent outfit choice went too far for Vince Russo. Speaking about Rollins' black lace outfit from Raw, Russo said to Sportskeeda that the attire was embarrassing, saying he should just come out in lingerie next week. The controversial former WWE writer said he was appalled to see Rollins wear what he called women's clothing and asked if there's a point. Russo isn't exactly alone in his opinion, with many fans comparing Rollins to an attire Nikki Bella wore many years ago, but we'll let you decide who wore it best. And we're ending today with Darren Matthews, who you'll best know as William Regal, a name he first used back on a September 2000 episode of Raw is War. Of course, Regal is no longer with WWE but is using the name in AEW, but that only came after getting Vince McMahon's blessing. During a KNS WrestleFest signing, Regal said that while he owns the name William Regal, he wanted to get McMahon's permission to use it before he signed with AEW. Regal said that if Vince had said no, he would be okay and worked as Steven Regal, the name he used before becoming William. Regal is one of the very few ex-WWE superstars in AEW to not take digs at their former employer, and the fact that he asked just goes to show the respect that Regal has for WWE and his now former boss. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.